Hello and welcome everybody again to Cooking with Ken. Chef Mark here, coming at you with some chicken noodle soup. Keeping it simple today and chasing away the cold here in wintry Louisville. I've got some Mirepoix in front of me. That is M-I-R-E-P-O-I-X, Mirepoix, meaning carrot, celery, and onion. These are three simple vegetables that make up a vast majority of cooking bases, particularly soups of this nature. So we're going to get started with those right now. All right. Starting with my celery, just going to roughly chop this. Chicken noodle soup is great because of how rustic and simple it is. We don't have to worry about frills in our soup, just getting our veg cut up however we want. It doesn't have to be any particular way, really. You can have this however you'd like. Some people will elongate their carrots, cutting them on a bias. Some people will dice them. But at the end of the day, it's going into soup. It's going to be eaten the same way. So make it yours. Large dicing my onion. Carrots, I'm just going to cut the tops off and slice. I'm lastly going to get these garlic cloves minced. Got 5 of them on my board. Now, to review our French culinary terms, we've just gone over Mirepoix, carrot, celery, and onion. This is going to be part of my mise en place. I've mentioned mise en place before, meaning everything is in its place. I'm getting my vegetables cut first so that when I begin assembling the soup, cooking the chicken, everything can follow in one quick sequence of events rather than me having to stop and chop as I go along, saving time. Get on here. All right, I'm satisfied with that. Now that my vegetables are out of the way, I'm gonna get the chicken into the pot. Got 2 breasts here. Just salt and pepper. And I've got my pot on medium-high heat right now. Just gonna graze my fingers across the bottom. Still feeling a little bit on the cool side. I'm going to give that a minute to come all the way up to temp. Remember, we always put cold oil into a hot pan. Otherwise, we get stuck chicken and poor sears, bad caramelization. We don't want that. Olive oil straight into the pan. Give it a nice spread. Now, in addition to that, I've got a cube of the herbed olive oil from our preserves last fall. That's gonna drop in, get hot and melty, and we're gonna incorporate all the flavors of that thyme, that rosemary and sage into this chicken. Let's go ahead and put chicken down while that last bit is still melting. Top side down first. Want to get a nice hard sear and caramelization on that outside. Really nice crisp golden skin to seal all those juices in. And now it's time to turn our chicken. There we go. Beautiful golden brown sear on the outside. And I'm just trying to get the other sides caramelized too. These are not going to finish cooking all the way through. I'm going to take these chicken breasts out of this pot, put them onto this tray, finish them in the oven, which I have at 425 right now. And whilst that happens, we'll have our vegetables in the pot cooking on that fond. Time to get our chicken onto our tray to finish. Come on. Into the oven this goes at 425 for about 10 or so minutes. That should be enough to finish cooking them off. In the meantime, vegetables go right in. I've reduced the heat to medium so I can just sweat these onions a bit and not get a hard caramelization on them like I'm making fajitas or something. Yeah, cooking in all that leftover flavor from our chicken breast, all the herbs that were in here, all that flavor is going to get cooked into the soup. Now I can see all that caramelized bit on the bottom of the pan has been pulled away from the vegetables, or by the vegetables. That's officially all permeating, getting mixed in there. Onion is just starting to turn translucent. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with 2 quarts of chicken stock. Now I'm going to turn my heat on high and let this come to a boil. Once this has come to a boil, we're going to add our egg noodles in, add some seasoning, and let that go until we have cooked pasta. We're going to lower the temperature for a little bit so that when our chicken comes out and is ready to be pulled and added to our soup, our noodles aren't really soggy and mushy and crumbling on us when we finally go to eat it. Now, whilst I'm waiting for this to come to a boil, I have some extra herbs that we dried over the fall. Some sage leaves. I'm just gonna crumble up and add in there. And rosemary. That one I'm not gonna try to add as much of. Rosemary is very potent on its own. And I'm gonna add 2 bay leaves. And let all that marry. All right, our stock is officially at a rolling boil. Got about 6 ounces of egg noodles here. Adding all that in. And we're gonna let that cook the same way you would pasta. Once it gets to a certain point about al dente, like I said earlier, I'm going to lower the heat. I'm not gonna completely kill it, but lower it significantly so that I can add the chicken in there in time to have everything homogeneous without the noodles again being cooked to mush. Let's hit that some salt. Now it's time for our chicken to come out. Beautifully done. Nice and firm to the touch. Doesn't give any when I try to poke it. So that meat is cooked. I'm going to give that a little bit of time to cool off. Once it's cool enough for me to physically handle, I'm going to get this chicken shredded by hand and add that into our soup base to finish our chicken noodle soup. All right, now my chicken has officially cooled enough for me to be able to handle it. I'm going to go ahead and get to pulling that. And for this stage, you can make the chunks of chicken as large or small as you like. Some people like really fine, like feathered meat like this, but I'm just gonna very roughly pull it. Into the pot we go. And there we have our finished chicken noodle soup, ready for serving. And if you'd like in advance, you can fish the bay leaves out since they're not going to be any kind of edible or palatable to you, or you can leave them in there and take a chance. There we go. Try to get a little bit of everything. So good. The soup is so herbaceous from the herbs in our olive oil and the herbs that I added on later. Just very, very flavorful without having to do too much to the soup. Super good and perfect for a cold day like today. So thank you all again for joining. This has been Mark Hoosier with Cooking with Ken. Remember to leave us a like and comment on anything you'd like to see and future content. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys next time.